tired with the promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why does you lie? Why does you steal? Why does you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us.
Hello, everyone. That's This is Takonje. This music was made for UP, the I would say the Third Republic. That's what I will call it. So the First Republic lasted for 135 years, ruled by about 300 families. This is the Republic of Liberia, where the former free slaves settled, although they were indigenous on the ground, who were maybe in the hundreds of thousands of people, or maybe a million or more. Okay, so by the time the war started in 1990, we were around about 2.5 million people at the time. Takonje made this music, and then we went to war. Okay, we had a coup in 1980, where they kind of they changed the monopoly that was supposed to have been the government, some sort of autocracy for a group of family, a group of people ruling the nation. Okay, that other people weren't allowed to participate in the governance system. You have to know somebody who knows somebody. In fact, they have what we call redlining and all of that in the United States. Hey, Ayuba. And just like here, although for almost, I don't know how many hundreds of years, the Black people that were brought to America weren't allowed to go to school. They weren't allowed to learn to read and write. When the mindset was you build them bigger so they're physically able, but they're not able to do anything else. That was the same way with Liberia. As time went by, if you wanted to be a part of the system, people will open a little door and then you come in, and then, some people have to change their name just to have an opportunity to go to school. But that's a different story for a different day. I'm just giving you a background of where we are as a nation. Now, fast forward, and that was the spoil system. Okay, the political machine, true win party. Y'all remember in America had true win party also. Okay, which were very prejudiced from the inception of America. A lot of people don't understand that America had over 100 political parties. And of all of the 100 political parties that America have had, because we kind of compare ourselves, because our Constitution is literally the carbon copy of the American Constitution per se. The only thing is the structure of government is slightly different. In the structure of government, people have to understand the structure of government is how the nation organizes itself to rule or to lead or to live per se. That's what the structure of government is. Some people structure themselves as a communist country where nobody's supposed to be above. Okay, nobody's above. Nobody own anything. The government own anything, and they redistribute it. Okay, like China, but China is moving more toward some kind of diverse. The economy is getting to go to a market economy. They call it a socialist economy, leaning market per se. Okay, so I'm going somewhere with this right here. I'm trying to get somewhere with this right here. Okay, hopefully I make sense to a lot of people. Now, let me see my work here. So from 1980 to 1990, the natives, the indigenous, took over. They ousted the rulers. Those are the top that were visible. for 135 years. And I can tell you for free. But the very souls and the roots of what was there that kept the country going in circle was still there. And people wouldn't know what they know, okay, until you treat them differently. So the new group that came, they looted, they disenfranchised their own people, okay, and then the bottom came off, and then we went to war. And 14 years we fought. We make these excuses that we fought war, so that's why we are where we are. China fought war for over 22 years. China did not start developing until after the death of Mao Zedong in 1976. In 1976, our life and well, literally yesterday. Okay? Israel were not giving birth to until the mid-40s. So does Ghana, Senegal, Guinea, Ivory Coast, Nigeria in the 60s, during the Pan-African movement, the independence movement. Kenya, the same. South Africa just yesterday. So we have no excuse as to what we've done is how we choose leadership. There's a saying that goes, people see themselves in their leaders, right? So we choose the people that are as flawed as we are, because we think through them, we will get something. We don't think outside of the box or the bigger picture and see what's possible. So that's what we do. Now, somebody will ask me, where are you going with this? The war has been 36 years. Rwanda fought the same time that we were there when we were fighting. They fought over 1 million people in 90 days. But guess what they did differently than we have not done? Rwanda, changed the constitution. Like Japan, like China, like the United States. They all changed the constitution. Because the way we organize ourselves to lead, or because we set the constitution, then when the group that came in 1980, they changed the constitution to protect themselves. Here says Valerie. Okay? We said the constitution was prejudice, but we went back. And in fact, when the group that were initially commissioned to work on it, when they work on the first draft and they bring it, the president told them no. And in fact, some of the people were threatening. He told them if they cross, he would deal with them. So whatever he wanted, what needed to go in that constitution. That's exactly what they did. That's where they get us. And you see right now, leadership matters. Trump was just in court the other day because he's trying to get immunity, okay, for immunity for he and his children, all his close allies. So if tomorrow comes and he does not win, he does not want to go to jail, he does not want to be prosecuted. The judge just closed and threw it out. The 1980 coup, okay, folks, they decided they would give themselves immunity. The first time when we came to the States, G. Evans Jones, the finance minister from Doe, the former IT ambassador and the director for USAID, wanted us to go see where our minister was living. He was living by the Potomac River in Maryland and DC, in a gated community, in a multi-million-dollar home. I think I learned later he ended up losing it from the poor country. The government of the country people in 1980s got the most money out of the American government, more than $400 million. It's in the CIA fact book. Y'all go read it. They were seizing people's property and carrying on. Somebody will ask me, where are you carrying all of this? Yes, it's going to 46 years. Yes, that is correct. It is going, is it? Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about after the 1990 war. Yeah, but it's going to 46 years for 1980. You're correct. Okay. And I'm going with this because there's a lot of things that is happening right now in Liberia that we're not talking about it. All right. And I will start with this. And the reason I'm saying this is America has had over 100 political parties. They did not settle on the first two. They did not settle on the first three. They did not settle on the first four. Out of those 100 political parties, only 6 of them had presidents. And 4 of them are non-existing. The last 2 that are existing right now, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, when they didn't come to existence later. That was not the part of Adams, nor was it of Franklin. It was not. Okay? American people had their own trial. In fact, we have what we have today called the political machine, the spoil system, where people were being given a political job and contract based on their support, based on who they knew. And in America, during that era, is called the political machine or the spoil system. I want Liberian people to know there is nothing that is happening in Liberia now that has not happened before. Whenever time I come on here, my goal is to inform, educate, and leave that with you so you process it. I have sat here for literally 10 years trying to speak to your hearts and your mind to see how we can build our country together. Because whether you like it or not, there are not enough country people in Liberia that can change Liberia. Because we've seen that. We've seen that from 1980. Country people. From 1822 to 1980, the love of liberty brought us here. They didn't change that either. Because Dr. Bladen wrote to Liberian people in 1861, and he said, Liberia as it is. What are we in? What he said, what is wrong with us? That the evil, the present day evil, you came to build a nation that will worth a living. That man said that he wrote to Liberia. 1861, we got our independence. 1846. I want to sign your information minister. 1847, not 1847, 1846, 1847, 1822. We used to sing the song when we were in elementary. Back in 1822, far across the sea, the ship was filled with pioneers seeking liberty. Okay, that was 1822. 1847, we got our independence. That is the word. Now, I want to talk on a few things because it's 23 minutes already. I went all around the world to come back to tell you this is not where we stay. And one thing that we need to do, we need to disabuse our mind, meaning we need to unlearn things and relearn. Okay, unlearn. What do we need to unlearn? We need to unlearn that there are 5 million people. Over 5 million people, at least 2.5 million adults in Liberia. Some are more qualified, overqualified than Bwaka, than Cummings, than Weah, than Tiawan, than Freeman. Okay, I say qualified in respect to maybe degree. Now, I can also say these men who have name. I'm going to take Weah out and I'm going to take Waka out. I can tell you for free that Cummings is more qualified than Pabwaka, okay? Then we are in respect to managing business, managing economy, managing the logistical approach of a nation, managing people, because he has a proven record to do so. Weah is also best that you should give it to him in sports. He's an athlete. He's a celebrity. You see, Weah face, his demeanor, his countenance change when he talks about sports. That is his area. You also see Alexander coming beam and totally, because he's an introvert, come for out of his shell when he talks about money, the economy, growing business. Okay, you hear Tiawan Gonglo when he speaks, anything that is legal, the credit card thought, you see him. Although his voice is not harsh, but there's a power, there's a passion in that voice. All right. You hear Simeon Freeman when he's talking when it comes to business navigation. Okay, he's okay. I listen to him. Sometimes I totally disagree with him. All right, and that's what I'm talking about. They told us Bwaka has a strength in agriculture. For now, I see nothing. We were giving machines, and those machines were taken to Lofa to create. It never happened. We hear the word bread basket. I don't know how it is because our people are always trouble. I remember growing up in Morovia, in Nimba, during the reading season, people would die of starvation. Okay, I know that for a fact. Good morning, sweetheart. Okay, I know for a fact because the people, when they plant, they have to save seed for the next year. My grandparents have to sell whatever they harvest to be able to take some to send their sons to school. So I know that. Nobody can tell me anything about the process. You know, when I was talking to Liberians, Sis Letty, welcome. Belinda, welcome. When I was talking, usually when I'm talking to people, because the people used to come on this platform, they see me. Oh, that elitist, that Congo woman. There's nothing wrong with being Congo. And, you know, people used to ask me, you sure that you parents? I love my father. I love who my mother said my father is. If anything else, I don't care. I love my father. And they're both late anyway. So, and that's how I see it. So I want you to listen. I want all of you to listen. I call you four names. I hear a lot of talk going on. No disrespect to anyone. I've had an opportunity to lead protests in a structured society. I've led lots of protests in America, and I can say that. I led protests during the war, okay? I just as a young lady coming to America, okay? Join my uncle them to go to Washington, to go to New York, to bring light to what was happening in Liberia, the carnage that was taking place, so they can help our people in different refugee camps. That's how some of you were able to get on refugee status, because Liberians got in the street to come to America, to go to Sweden, to go to England, to go to France, wherever you went. We were out here amplifying your suffering, amplifying the carnage that was taking place. I know some of you can come on a people post. You've been questioning a few days. Listen, there's absolutely nothing that anybody from UP or still the support UP can say to me. Says Letty is right here that can bother me. What kind of cost CDC cost me? What kind of cost CDC cost me? They were here. Now we're all friends, and I still have people that I could talk to. When Prince Johnson went to Nimba in 2017 for the second round, he put we are on the phone. And not only that, you called to talk to me. At the time, I had the largest platform here. You know, popularity is a perishable good, okay? I can be saying something that you like, all of y'all will come. Like this, the UP, all of them used to be on the platform. Since Letty is right here as my witness, all of us here, okay? Although they took the hike what we had before it took down the whole system, and we have to start all over. There's nothing. I've been threatened when I come to Liberia. They will pour me acid water. They will do. The CDC said everything. Number one, they say our Josh Weah ex-girlfriend. In fact, Josh Weah left me. That's why I was mad. No disrespect to Josh Weah. I think he's a very handsome man. But my attraction is not for looks. I like, no disrespect to Josh Weah. Josh Weah's a celebrity. He got a talent, but I like the minds. Y'all can tell that I'm very challenging, and I like a man who is a one-woman man, because me, I will go to jail. I know me. So no. Then the next thing is our Congo, our elitists that when they work for y'all. Two, I didn't have any children. You get husband say go cook. Y'all, they will come at me with all this bigot stuff. So there's absolutely nothing that you people can say will move me. But let's move on. Why am I saying this to y'all? There's not enough country people in Liberia to change the country. There's not enough Congo people in the country to change the country. And I want all of you to remember that. Now, tomorrow, Mulva Malu is leading a protest. Okay? Mulva Malu is leading a protest. Is there a reason for Mulva Malu to protest? Yes. Pape Boaka promised us to rescue the nation. When you rescue people, the first thing is you breathe life into them. You rescue something that is dying. Okay? You breathe life into them. If you are saving them from the river, you resuscitate them. How other nations have done it. During the Great Depression, when America decided they would rescue their people, the first thing is they had a budget for each state. How were they going to do it? They didn't just want to give money to people. Okay. In the South, they have so much cotton because during the war, all right, America was producing cotton. Out of those cotton, that where they were making army clothes, blanket, and all of this thing, so they were overflow. So they have to compensate the farmers because that's all that they have. So they don't have to make more farm to grow something else outside of cotton. Okay, although they send them package, they say black people should not get it. We had in Georgia, redlining, we had Turmeric, who was a racist white man who was the governor. And Franklin Delano Roosevelt have to come and say, if y'all don't want it, just like they did during Obama time. So they found a different way and say, listen, only those who have homes or property or land could get that. But the point I'm making here is they put millions of people to work. Just as we did during the corona, they rescue us. What the Berlin do, they send us a check based on your family unit every week so we can eat, so we can pay our bills. What did they do? They froze our mortgages, our rent, and talk directly to the corporation that were in charge of people rentage. Even thereafter, they brought something, introduced something called, they have something already going around called NACA, people who were in their homes and they could not pay because either they lost their job shut down, and all of that. Then they brought in the PPE loan, okay, a triple P loan, so they can put America back to work. People who have businesses to make sure they got, that is rescuing, okay? Liberia has not done so. The only people they have rescued is Joseph Boaka and his group. Now, protests. I'm coming back. If I were in Liberia, I would join the protests. I'm not joining the protest because Mulva Malu is leading it. I'm joining the protest because there's something that we need to be protested for. The lies, the deception, the stealing in the country, and leaving our people, the amount of people that are being put in JFK, the medical malpractices that is going on, the disrespect to our people. When the government took over, the first thing, they had no economic plan, social lies. They came up with some story that the backers, the motorcyclist needed to buy a helmet, needed to buy a reflecting jacket. I remember when they ran that boy down, busted his head because he didn't have helmet. Then they needed to get fire extinguisher. I drive in America and I have babies. No fire extinguishers in my car. That's what the fire service is for. The only vehicle that are forced for you to have fire extinguishers in, that vehicle that have people require exceptional learner, people with disability that can't move, okay? Maybe have other issue. That's what we do. All right. And they were asking them to do so because they were trying to make money out of them. Now, I'm still coming here. I just want you all to remember this. I'm still coming here. Where is my stuff? So they did that. Then the next thing, fire extinguisher in the cars. They collected that money. They were shooting people in the street because they didn't have fire extinguisher or they didn't have helmet. They were not wearing reflective jacket. That one they just for them to make money. The key pass. That is not rescue. Nothing has changed. Okay. If I were in Liberia, I would join the protest. But let me bring this to bear because I hear all flexing our lungs and telling people, where are the opposition? Where are the opposition? I had an opportunity to sit on platform, to talk to people. Lofa Julius can come here. Steve, all of you can come here and you're listening because most of you have been on the phone with me. The last protest that we had in DC, we have Congressman Payne out of Jersey. Says Letty, that's your lawmaker, your congressman. Okay. We have Omar from Minnesota. I think we have at least 6 lawmakers from the United States. And the people said on the phone after the meeting, they said, we don't want to see political party. Every opposition thing, they should be in the position. They don't think the people in position are doing what they're supposed to do because they want power. So nobody's going to listen to them. Where we want to see civilian action. We want to see civil service action. We want to also see, so what you will do, even if the civil society is leading in other countries, their lawmaker from their district will join the protest. But the opposition cannot lead the protest. If the opposition decide they want to plan the protest, they can plan the protest. But here is my thing to Liberian people. We're all yelling the opposition, the opposition, the opposition. The same opposition were on the ballots. They're being visible. You didn't vote them in. Alexander Cummings were on the ballot. Tiawan Bonklo were on the ballot. Sima Freeman were on the ballot. We can go on and on. We're all on the ballots. Okay. The Liberian people who are feeling the pinch of this must lead this charge. I am telling you what I've been told. When we went to the United Nations, the same thing. The same thing. I've led. We were in that place. So I get it. We want opposition to stand up. We want opposition to stand up. Bacon Matthew stood up. Bacon Matthew protested. Bacon Matthew and his team literally dismantled the one-party system. In the end, he had to step back to stay alive. And I will say this, I'm going to make this quote. Bacon Matthew once said, Liberians are not people to die for. At the same time, Liberia is a country to die for. You go figure that out. The very people you will get in the street for. I'm here in America. The movement for justice, the IJG. You think about it, the Oxygen Project. We led that. It got to a point, I remember. You'll take some people here. When we wanted to do the Liberian in the Diaspora Conference, Steve called me. Gilman called me. All the people say, if you lead it, they will not show up. Mind you, I have made contacts. I have taken them to the U.S. Congress. I have taken them to the United Nations. Okay, we have been recognized. Our voice have been recognized. The very people were going in the back and telling people I was close to. They didn't want me to lead anything. If I come, I call it. In fact, fatty guy insulted me on the Facebook. I sent a screenshot, call me the B word and carry on and carry on. Because he and Henry Costa were on their stuff for the June 7 protest. Because when we started that calling on the June, the safety state, I sat right here and raised $24,000 for Henry Costa. More than 50,000, but that was just on what was on GoFundMe. And when we came up with that idea of the safety state, the next morning, Henry Costa and CDC were going at it. So he decided to announce it. When he announced it, Henry Nicole called me and said, oh, and I said, okay. He had picked it up. The Liberian people are responding. Every revolution has his face and a voice. Let's give it to him. These men got pissed at me. Henry Costa and not somebody to be trusted. That's true. We came to find out that. But that's a different story for a different day. Now, let's go back to this protest. This protest, the Liberian people must own this protest. And opposition can join them if they want to. We can make this thing about opposition. This is about Liberian. If Liberian people, if the massa is always opposition and imposition, we got a long way to go. It must be about the Liberian people, the children that are struggling right now. The people who came to rescue you, that are stealing everything. Bwaka has left the country over 40 times. How many times has Bwaka been to Nimakante? How many times has he been to Grand Geneva? How many times have he been to Sando? How many times has he been to Lofa? How many times have he been to Bobolu? How many times has he been to Bon County? How many times? Maryland. How many times? Grand Crew, Grand Bassa, River Cess, Bonn. How many times? He had left the country. In another 2 weeks, he will be leaving again. He will find something that will show up. Why do we have embassies? Why do we have foreign ministers? Why do we have ambassadors? He didn't come to rescue. Papa Bwaka appointed his friend, Conte, who were at the embassy in Nigeria when that baby was SA. Backside, front side, 7-year-old little girl. And did nothing. Y'all were yelling at Maxwell. Maxwell coming here for harassing a woman. I'm not making excuses. So it was wrong then. It's wrong now. Y'all didn't want Maxwell. We didn't want Maxwell to go back to New York. But we have a man who was in charge of a country, because an embassy is a country, okay? Where a 7-year-old child, and he sabotaged that Bwaka friend. We're in the age of Donald Trump. Nothing will happen. We get that for November coming, okay? They appointed you to Washington. Let us say, F all of you. Y'all don't matter. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. Y'all can talk about it. I know, Fred. I know. Okay? I know. Now he's going almost, first he started going every 5 weeks. Now he's going 4 weeks. He's about to go. Okay? So, that man, I'm going to stop here because there's plenty of things I want to talk about because I've gone around. Now, let me come back to this other one about the additional seat. First thing, before we talk about the additional seat. In 2020, I used to live in District 105. Now I live District 113. You know why I live District 113 now? Instead of District 105, they redistrict after the census. Okay? They didn't add more number. They remap the state because the population have grown. Okay? So they have to do redrawing. Why I want some more seats. But those that are there are not doing anything. And yet where I do not agree with other people. There are districts in Liberia that when they have 30,000 people, some of them less. Their district in Liberia, like District 4 got almost 80,000 people. Okay. That district with 80,000 people need to be redrawn to the next district that close to it. And they're gonna keep playing with it until the next election. They're not gonna do it. These people don't do nothing because they're gonna get paid regardless. Okay. What needs to happen is Liberia, yes, need to be redistricted. When these things were done, Liberia had less than maybe 1.5 million people. There's 6 million people. So that those places need to be redistricted. Okay. You go to the southeastern part of Liberia, there are more cities in there than there are in Nimba. It had the second largest population. Okay, the districting is not based on the land size. It's based on the population, because the population is the representation. Those are the people that you represent. Although Grand Jide have the second largest land size. Okay, I believe Grand Jide. Okay, but it does not have the most population. So those places need to be. If you need the senators, you have to keep it. If you need to change the amount of representatives, it needs to be changed. It cannot be based on, it must be based on representation. How many people is their population? I just told you, I used to live in District 105. My lawmaker was Donna McLeod. Now I have a different district, because after that, they did redistricting. I'm no longer in that district. That's the way it works. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is the guaranteed budget. In the world over, the lawmakers that increase their budget do not get that budget increase for that duration of their term. It will be the next group of lawmakers that comes in. In Liberia, it's not. They put more taxes on our people, and they increase their own budget. It's like they make laws to steal from the people. They make laws to keep the people in perpetual, poverty. That's what they do. They make laws to make sure that you will be at their mercy if they open the door for you, and you must buy in. Whatever they want to do to you, if you're going domestic, if you're going bend over, if you get you on your knees, if you're going to spread wide, if you're going to be giving whatever you're going to be giving on your knees, that when they're done with you, you're part of the member of their society, you don't get to do it anyway. It's like a low court that they're in. Normally has a $4 million budget for her office. But look at the bridge going to the place, it fell the other day, almost killed people. The Liberian legislature is like Sabina, where you call SM Brussels. We used to call it Sabina. They have guaranteed flight. Whether people get on that flight, they don't get on that flight, they're going to come. Water, no water, they're going to come. You know why? Now, when they take all your minerals and carry it. It says, Eleanor, that how they collect all your minerals, all your resources, your gold, your diamond, that how they leave the country. Whether you get 2 people on that flight, it will come in and it will leave. During the war, they never stop. They're not going to stop. Because millions, billions annually, they're leaving. They have guaranteed flight. That's the same way with your lawmaker. Your lawmakers have guaranteed funding. So what they do, they and the executive are in cahoot. They put the money in the budget. They bring it, they sign it overnight. They get their cut, make sure the budget is set that they're going to get paid. And then they come by the recast. Broad day stealing. But you're screaming. Opposition, opposition. When I go to Washington, when I've been in Washington, when I went to talk to lawmakers, they tell us, even if you go to the United Nations and the opposition are telling you that the government is not working, they don't believe them because they're opposition. That's just a fact. Okay? They can lift it. So you say the government is not doing what they're supposed to do. They're doing this, and you're able to chronicle it. You can prove it. The people must rise up. The people must stand up. It has to be the fight of the people. They call it surveillance action, civil society action. Call anybody. You ask them. I have invited Liberians sitting on the platform with lawmakers in Washington for the Manisky and all the other people, lawyers, doctors, all this. Y'all remember Shirley Jackson from Texas was an esquire, meaning she was a lawyer. Okay? And they told us that. Yes, we want opposition to lead. But what the worst is, there are people who did not win elections and they're mad and they're leading. In the United States or any other place, your lawmakers who are representing you and things not working right, they're the one that you can usually do. Okay? So I said that your lawmakers have guaranteed funds. They increase taxes. The more the budget goes up, they increase their salary while you and your children suffer. While you beg and you're okay with it. The third thing I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to play that, is Josiah Joker. The people, the Senate, the Liberian Senate, I want you people to understand that the Liberian people are watching. Josiah Joker is a little brother. In fact, Josiah Joker and us, Hawa, everybody, we protested many times to the point that when we got to Washington, one of the people in the group told me, says, yeah, this is your place to shine. Why are you letting them read? Why are you letting them do this? And I said, that's what leadership is about. You want to bring other leaders along. Josiah was the one who read our petition, our statement in Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker office, to tell the people the world over how our people were struggling, how corruption, how there was no war in economic crimes code. We needed justice and accountability. How we was incompetent, how people were just spying all over the place. It's happening now. How the people send money to Liberia and the money is being used by the government. They're doing it now. He gave his wife a job. That job was not posted. It was not announced. We don't remember when she was interviewed. Okay. But he also removed other people for doing what he was going to do later. He cannot be above the law. And this brings me back to this, and I'm going to tell you. 2022, we were in Washington, we were in Maryland. I was the Secretary General of ANC. And ANC people were trying to do all of this laws and I stood up there. Anybody who were in that meeting, you asked them. I told them, I said, laws are living, breathing documents. They're supposed to grow with time. And they're supposed to answer, okay, current day reality. If right now you may not like certain people in the organization and you make laws, in the end, those laws will come back because you want to kick them out, will choke you. I said it live. If anybody recorded, I think I have my own recording. I start on it because people were trying to pass law. They didn't like that certain people. They didn't like people coming from this, that. And I made that because I've led in my community. I have managed people. I have worked for call center. I work for banks. I work for electronics and telecommunication company. I'm not educated. So I could speak to those things to them. That when you make laws, that laws need to live beyond you. Josiah Joker came in. When those people from City Hall went to the program, my lawmaker wear clothes for people who are running the t-shirt to support them. She don't get fired for that. There is a Republican Senator Massey that is on Donald Trump back. the Jasmine Crockett, the AOC, the Cory Booker, all of these people were in the street protesting, okay, for their country and with the people that they represent. So Josiah Joker went ahead and fired those people because he didn't want them, because they come from this other political party. It was not their time. The very Josiah Joker, good morning, John. The very Josiah Joker who stood in Nancy Pelosi office and talked about equity and treating all Liberia that Liberia belonged to every Liberian. I still got a video and all. I still have it. He gets a position and he played laws. The last time he was writing NDA. He works for the people, but he writing an NDA, a non-disclosed job agreement, okay, for people working in the government. So if he mistreat them, they don't have a voice to talk. If they talk, he can fire them. Like he built walls for them to keep Liberian people in. Like he's a dictator. Now, my little brother, you all know me. I'm a judicial person. My brother was the czar for Ebola. My brother was also advisor to the president of the Republic of Liberia. I call Ellen Johnson actually out every moment that I got. Go on NBC. I call her out. When Ebola took place, I was the first to use Skype to have people to get on when Sawyer died in Nigeria. I was on NPR, I was on NBC, I was on CNNBC, and channel 57 of Georgia. You can go on and on and on. And I call Ellie out. And people ask me, I told you, brother, what advice? I said, that's my brother. I'm a citizen. He has a voice. I have my voice. That's the kind of person I am. So this is nothing against Josiah Joker, but it is the truth. Now, the very Josiah Joker who passed the law and tried to enforce it and fire other people and remove them will go do the same thing in Nemo. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And what the leader allows become the culture of the nation, just like in your household. If in your house, as a parent, the child come, you're watching TV, the child change the TV, you don't say anything. They don't say, excuse me, they don't say anything. They ask you, mommy, can I change the TV? They just change it. When you talk, the child throw tantrum. One day you have friends over with guests. You're sitting down watching. That child will come and pass and take that remote control and change the TV. When you talk, that child will yell at you. What the leaders allow becomes the culture of any organization, any society. You're seeing America today. That's where we are. Okay? I want Josiah Joker to be removed. When he's removed, because he broke the law, not because I hate him, because he broke the law, other people will rethink their decision. Okay? When you are given an opportunity to work, do it to the best of your ability. Do it with credibility. Do it with integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing at all times. It does not matter if it benefits you or not. Okay? He had issue with that. And I'm saying to the lawmaker, and I hope the farm, because he have broken the law, his own law, like he fire people. So if they keep him, they need to bring the other people back. Or they need to pay them for the time that they've been sitting now almost 3 years. And that's my take on Josiah Joker. Another thing I'm going to talk about. It will be Mobile Malou. So we're going to talk about Mobile Malou, the protest tomorrow. The protest tomorrow for me is not about Mobile Malou. If it were about Mobile Malou, I would not show up. But it is about the Liberian people. Okay? We have to remember the children are crying. Our children, okay, are in peril. The nation is in peril. Okay? 3 years ago, we got a report that states that there were over 300,000 Liberians that were strung up and addicted to substance. Okay? And we all know this. and counting. And we got to say every day, 700 more were joining. Every day, 700 more were joining. What the LDEA has done, what the Liberian police, Gregory Coleman, has done, and they've done it successfully, okay, to silence the suffering of our people. You get in the street, they beat you or they shoot at you. That's what they've done. And that way they continue to do. For me, Gregory Coleman, when he first came, I told you about something because I wanted Patrick Sudi to go, but he has no credibility. And I have people who talk to him. The people who came back that were brought back to the UP government, they are worse. They are like just taking. Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. Gregory Coleman and whoever the LDEA, they sent the police, their Gestapos, okay, to chase our children who are already addicted to substance. They're not even themselves. They're acting like animals. They chase them into river, into the Do River, into poo-poo water because they don't want to be captured. When they're ready, they pack them on the island, they take them somewhere and dump them somewhere temporarily so people can forget. They break down where they've been. Listen, once you're at that point on drugs, I will have a specialist here the first week in August on a Saturday. When you get to that point, you are no longer normal. That thing is controlling you. It becomes a mental illness. When you see people will take by their own mothers, their own siblings to get that is chasing them. And you chase them, you, the government. That's what Bwaka ran on. Bwaka was interviewed in Ghana, in Nigeria. He said our children were buying. The substance in the country is too much. That's the first thing we're going to do. He lied. When he took over, he and Jeremiah Kuhn and their team said they were going to do drug tests. They never did. It was a lie. If they did, we never got a result. Everyone working for the LDA all need to take drug tests every 3 months. Let me tell you something. When you work here in America, in that kind of place, number one, it's considered high security area. They do background check on you every 3 months. When you get to a certain point, every first thing is you have to declare your asset, what you have, because they need to find out if you will be in need of money, because they don't want you to be compromised. So you have your own thing. When they report in America, they will pull your credit report, they will pull your criminal records. Every 3 months, the first 90 days, they will do a background check on you. 6 months, and then every 6 months. Okay, they have to make sure you're not compromised, you're not putting people in harm's way. These people that you're going to put in charge, they need to do lie detector tests. They need to be tested for drugs. Okay, every 3 months, if they must, they will lead you, because where Liberia is right now. And all your government officials then need to be tested. I'm saying so. Okay, so let me play this. Hey, Theo, let me play Mobile Malu's video. Where are we? Mobile Malu, the song answer for you, eh?
Go to drugs, lead or leave peaceful protest that is planned to converge Liberians in their possibly tens of thousands, in their thousands, to make demands for comprehensive reform, to make demands for individuals that may be a part of the drug cartel who bear responsibility one way or the other for the $19 million drug scandal that was smuggled into our country will be held responsible. And we want to assure Liberians that contrary to the dangerous propaganda, the disinformation and misinformation campaign that has been waged by the embattled Police Inspector General Gregory Como and the Information Minister Jeremy Pia. Tomorrow's tomorrow's mass-based event will be very peaceful, very much assured of the commitment of our peaceful protesters for discipline and the obedience of the rule of law. We've never, ever, under any circumstance in our more than 20 years of leading and organizing peaceful protest actions, ever, rule of law, we've always respected the rights of every Liberian citizen to the use of major highways, principal streets. We are known
Sorry, for some
historically
reason
for
it's
our very
still going in
respecters
and
of
out.
the rule of law. And we are not surprised at the dangerous disinformation campaign that has been launched by Jeremy Pia and the embattled police director Gregory Como, because this is his practice. Every time there is a planned protest, he comes out to make these business assertions that are not backed by facts. He will insinuate that people are armed with guns and that there has been a distribution of illegal firearms. So it's not the first time we are hearing these deliberate lies, misinformation, and disinformation from the police director and his colleague in fermenting lies, Jeremy Pierre. In 2025, July, just before the July 17th peaceful protest of last year, the same Gregory Como was again on radio spewing lies, verbiage, misinformation, disinformation, orchestrating uh, a public discussion that was never backed by fight, where he said, in fact, there were protesters that were arming themselves with illegal weapons and that they had an agenda to intrude at different protest locations to use firearm to commit mayhem, commit crime of different degrees. That was Gregory Como of 2005, July 16, either July 16 or July 15. And of course, all of you were witnesses. You provided coverage to that peaceful protest. It was very massive, very successful, and was very peaceful. There was not a single incident of lawlessness. There was not a single person that was caught protesting amongst the convergence of crowds that was caught with the kitchen knife, talk less of firearm I had been uh, uh, suggested by Gregory Como during that period. So the same misinformation campaign continues this year. So we were not surprised when Gregory Como again doing a midnight podcast says the devil comes for no other reason other than to steal, to kill, and destroy. Gregory Como, in my view, is one of the
Okay, I'm going to stop here if the audio is bad. The audio is good. Okay.
That he was prepared to dance with the devils. He was prepared to dance with devils to acquire state power. So I'm not surprised there are so many devils around it. The likes of Jeremy Pierre, who threw out deliberate falsification, deliberate falsehood that protesters will be armed with petrol bombs. For the Minister of Information to use a platform owned by citizens, owned by the country, the Minister of Information that is paid by taxpayers for.
Okay, folks, I'm going to stop here. I'm going over my time. Okay, so I just want to say tomorrow, good luck to Moba Malu and the team and Liberian people. If you believe that this government is not doing what it's supposed to do, come out and assemble peacefully and demand of them. Okay, and demand of them. But here's what I'm going to say. I heard Gregory Coleman saying display is off limit. Nothing in Liberia is off limit. The executive marshal is not. I have protested in front of the White House before. Okay, we have protested. American people protest in front of the White House before. We protested, Liberian people protested when we were in that place, when Ellen Johnson Sirleaf were in that place. So that house belongs to the people. Your job is to provide for them, okay? Security, okay? And to you that going to protest, you have a responsibility to behave with civility, okay? That's what you need to do. But Joliet need to stop lying. They're exposing themselves. This is not 2005. This is not 2006. This is not 2007. Nor is this 2015. This is 2026. This is the age of AI. This is not just the age of social media or the information highway, but the AI time. All right. So it's really important that the people you choose to lead understand how the world works today. All right. So if you're out there and you feel, like I said, he was going to create jobs. The creation of your job is impose more taxes, then increase he and his people's salary. Hire more people. I said 4 things here tonight. Okay. Redistribute. Redistribute the population. 2, on the book, it says our lawmaker paycheck is $1,000. There need to be a budget, a balancing of the budget. No one within, no other, even some of the most educated in the Mana River is paid as much as Liberian lawmakers are paid. These people are just eating. You see them, they're in different countries every day. They got homes in every country. Okay. Then you have the executive who think he's the executive, whoever is that thing, they're the king. They can decide what they want. When you have people who they elect their lawmakers to speak on their behalf, the moment a lawmaker stands up, they withhold their salary. They will hold their district funding and forget that the people represent different people. It's time, number one, the recommendation with the TRC report. We need justice and accountability. We need a government that works for us. We need civilian action. That's what we need. Okay. I would say if opposition gets involved, they cannot lead. I know they were even during 2017, it was still the civilian and the opposition joined them. But the opposition cannot be the one leading the charge. At least that's what I've been told by people who have been around for over 200 years, the U.S. state. Okay. They want to see the world, want to see the people, because you're saying the people are suffering. The people can be suffering, they're sitting down, then you go get in the street for them. That's not the way it works. It does not work that way. Okay. That said, I'm going to say good night to all of you. I see you all here Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's talk. Coach P will be here and we're going to be having a conversation. I've been traveling. I'm returning to school tomorrow. 2 months is over. It was good while it lasted. I could not really go anywhere because I had a major operation. Right now, I'm taking medication. So I could not go anywhere this year for summer. So I just went to DC for the weekend, and hopefully I can do something first week in August if I feel okay. All right. Good night, everyone. Please share the video. I'll talk to all of you later. I want to show you this picture right here. Anybody recognize this picture? This picture right here is the picture of the group of one of the Lebanese people in Liberia who have made it his duty. Okay. So, human traffic Liberian women to Omar, to different countries. This dude will end, okay, I don't know him, never met him. When this girl, and this is not our first time, we saved Liberians out of Omar before. Okay. We saved Liberian women out of Omar before. Ghana just brought their home last year. Okay. And they had them. I don't know what it would take for African people to understand that the people in Omar do not like them. They don't believe in their humanity. They believe the only thing they're good for is slavery. Okay. This guy right here. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see him. This man right here is in Liberia. All right. And have been threatening our children. They are in cahoots. They take Liberians from out of Liberia. They send them to go do slavery work in Omar. When they talk, they threaten you. This lady was brought to Liberia. Instead of the Liberian police going to find her, that's human trafficking. That's international crime. I testify in, I've been at the United Nations to talk about human trafficking. Okay. And here it is. Gregory Coleman didn't show up. He didn't send nobody to show up. This man and his group have to take the woman who were running. It's like you call police and say somebody is abusing you. Then the police deliver you to the people that are abusing you to go take a report. This dude right here, I'm going to put on my page. I want you to know that we want a Liberia that is for Liberians. That we will welcome strangers when they come. When the strangers come, they behave and respect our law and respect our humanity. Okay? That's it. I'm going to end this with Quincy B. The music that I opened this with Takon J. That music was made for UP government. That music was made for UP government. And all of you know this. Okay? And we're still there. And y'all went back and elected them just to come back and say, what opposition at? Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. So this music is from almost 10 years ago. This is Quincy B. 2016. 2017. All right. This was for the New Republic. The Boaka and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf call me. So let's hear it. And I'll call it as my good night to you. Okay. One of the voices from the deep.
In our suffering is what they're making business of. Yeah. The rich get richer and the poor people suffer. Them promise say, them bring development and better education. Our lands are fertile, no food on the land. Our children, we're pushing into bag. Look the way we're living, we treating one another unfair. Look the way we're living, we treating one another unfair. What's the hope for the future? What's the hope for the future? What's the hope for the future? The hope for the future. Our forefathers were taken into slavery, but in no more than time like this, we're children and slaves. We're fighting a war not with guns and bullets. The enemies I see are my brothers and my sisters. We're diggers of graves while we're still living. Don't judge a book by its covers. Looks can be deceiving. Whenever the sun shines, must come a rain. Who will come and take away the pain? Look the way we're living, we treating one another unfair. Look the way we're living, we treating one another unfair. Yeah. What's the hope for the future? What's the hope for the future? What's the hope for the future? The hope for the future. Yeah. What's the hope for the future? What's the hope for the future? What's the hope for the future? The hope for the future. Yeah.